Okay guys, so in this video, you and I are going to talk about two scenes in particular in Joker that just destroyed me. Either in a mental kind of way, going, oh, or in a gut way, you know what I mean? In a very visceral way, and like, whoa, oh, geez, okay, you know what I mean? Something like that. The reason I want to do this video is because I want to, one, keep talking about Joker because it's my favorite film of the year. It's the best film of the year. I do not think any other film this year is going to top it. I would be surprised, genuinely, if another film comes along and surpasses it, in my opinion. So I want to keep talking about Joker, but then I also want to inspire you and I to converse down in the comment section about this film and the scenes that stick out to you. Now, this is a film that, and experience. This is an experience that just, man, like I said in my other video about Joker, you don't stop thinking about the film. It's so ingrained in my mind, and I think it will be forever. Like, I'm never gonna not think of walking out of that theater on the first viewing, and even on my second viewing, and just feeling like I lived another life. Very few movies have that ability to make you truly feel as though you lived another person's life. Most movies are, you're a fly on the wall watching someone's life. Very few movies get you into that character or characters and you live it. It's almost like virtual reality, but this film did it. This film did it for me, and I know it's done it for so many other people out there. So anyways, before I go on a tangent and a side thing, the two scenes that I really wanted to focus on and talk with you guys about, and definitely this video has spoilers. So the first scene that I want to talk about, and the first kind of, it's not really even a scene, but I mean it's the scene that reveals, but it's everything leading up to it. So it's Arthur and Sophie. This connection that as we're watching the film, we realize that, it's almost as if, it's a cliche, but it's almost as if, yeah, Sophie, she's the saving grace, right? She's the saving grace. She's going to, save him from, becoming what we ultimately know. That's the interesting thing about going into this stuff, isn't it? We know we're going into a movie called Joker, because assuming you've seen a trailer or you've read a synopsis, you know it's an origin story about this guy descending into madness. So going into the film, you know it's going to happen. But that's another testament to this film, how it reels you in, it pulls you in. You're sitting there and you're just, you totally forget about everything you've read, everything you've seen. It's almost as if this is fresh. And you're thinking to yourself, yes, saving grace, please help Arthur. He needs this help. Please, Sophie, please. And as the movie is going on, you're watching a beautiful relationship flourish. You're watching two people bond in a very interesting way. The way that they initially meet is pretty cool in the elevator, and then it's, when she comes to the door and they're talking and she's like, were you following me? And that little joke about, I thought you were going to rob the place. Oh, I do have a gun. I can come by tomorrow. It's an odd way to begin a relationship, but it just works. It's like, yes, that's a relationship I'm rooting for. And the movie's going on and things are happening to Arthur that are terrible, and you're just like, oh, at least he has Sophie. It's that thing of, I've been there in my own personal life where I've had a bad day at work, or I had a falling out with a friend, or something horrible happened. And I had a significant other to come home to. And that felt good, right? That felt, damn, Well, yeah, it's not going the way I want it to, but at least I have so and so, right? I'm sure a lot of you can relate to it as well. So that relationship is so beautiful and so fragile, and that's the key word, isn't it? Fragile. Because I got to tell you guys, and I can't imagine anyone saw it coming. But it is interesting on a second watch, little things that you pick up. The thing that really stood out to me the second time is when him and Sophie are in the diner, right? And it's sort of like an outside shot. So we're basically on the street looking into the diner. And we can see both of them sitting, but we can also see the cook or the server across the diner. We can see another person, and you miss it on first watch, but the second watch you see he's kind of looking at Arthur like he has a puzzled look on his face. This is something that goes right over your head, and if it doesn't, you're just thinking he's listening in on their conversation, and he's, what are these people talking about, whatever. I gotta tell you guys, when it was revealed that the relationship was so fragile to the point that it was completely made up, and Sophie never did anything with Arthur outside of maybe the elevator and maybe him following her. Maybe. That's even a stretch. I feel kind of confident in the elevator, and I feel a little less confident in him following her, that actually happened, that she witnessed him following her. It might have happened. That does seem like something we would see, and that did occur. That kind of falls in line with Arthur's character. But everything else is completely made up. Good. Fuck. Please tell me you had that same reaction, because that hit me right here. That hit me right here. I'm not saying that I've gone to that extent with imagining that I had a significant other, but we've all been there. We have all been there, and if you say you haven't, you're probably lying to yourself, because we have been in that situation where we long for someone, right? We think that they are meant for us, or we see someone in another relationship and we think that they're not in the right relationship, that they should be with us, and we kind of envision it, right? So it hit home in that sense, but it just hit home in the sense that I cared for Arthur. I cared genuinely for his well-being. And this is yet another kind of, if his life is a Jenga tower, this is another kind of pulling of a piece, right? So he's one step closer to tumbling. Holy shit. That blew my mind. Now, the creative choice, I gotta say, it was cool the way it was done with the music and everything. But I almost wonder, because I instantly picked up on it. The second she came out and she was like, "You're in the wrong apartment." Instantly when she said that, I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. She doesn't recognize Arthur? How did she not recognize? Oh, shit. You know what I mean? Instantly I picked up on it. It was cool though that, and I wonder, I would love to ask Todd Phillips about the creative choice to then reveal, like literally explicitly show us him talking to her and then cut to a different angle showing him talking to no one. Him outside at the newsstand, cut to a different angle, nobody's there. Him in the diner, no one's there. Well, I don't think they do the diner one, but when he's with his mother, her rubbing his back, cut to a different angle, she's not there anymore. I wonder why that was done, because I instantly picked up on it, and I didn't need that explicit telling to reveal. Now again, like I said, it was so cool the way they did it, especially because it was complemented by an incredible score but on the other hand, I'm thinking, yeah, it really drove home because the music is so like, it gets under your skin, you know? It's like, no, 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 you know what I mean? Every time it builds up. I loved it so much. Let me know did you guys feel that way about that scene? Let me know down below. And then the second scene that I wanted to talk about with you guys is the finale. The finale, and specifically from the moment that he is standing behind the curtain, right? And he's getting ready to do his epic intro. You know, he comes out on the Murray Franklin show, and we're led to believe that up until this point, what is going to happen is Arthur is so done. This is the way I interpreted it. Arthur is literally, this is the final Jenga piece. This is going to be the final Jenga piece. And he's come to the decision and conclusion that, okay, well, at least I'm on the Murray Franklin show, and I'm going to go out in this way. I honestly, 100%, up until that point, was thinking, yeah, he's going to go out there, he's going to do the knock-knock joke, and he's going to blow his fucking brains out. His brains out. He's going to kill himself on live television. That's what I thought. Now, the second, and it's tricky to remember when I shifted my thinking of that to then thinking, oh, wait, what if he's going to turn it on Murray? I forget when exactly that moment was, but it's definitely when he's seated. And, you know, it might have been when he takes the book out and he looks at the joke and he says, knock, knock, and Murray goes, and you needed to look that up. I think that might have been, for me, the moment when I was like, oh, wait, hold on, Murray, you shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have said a lot of the things you said, but you shouldn't have said that. I'm pretty sure that's when I started thinking. And before we get to, I mean, obviously we know where it's going, but before we get to me sharing my thoughts about it, something that is kind of confusing to me, and I definitely want to talk about it with you guys. So we know that he sits down in the chair, he tells his joke, they're like, you can't joke about that, and then he reveals that he is responsible for the subway killings, and that he's not lying, and that it's not a joke. This is the truth. The thing that I'm confused about, and there is some suspension of disbelief when you go into a film, absolutely. Even a film as realistically depicted as Joker. Why didn't they, because this is a live show, this isn't pre-recorded, this is live in the moment. Why didn't they, the second he revealed that, why didn't they cut away? You know, why didn't they stop the broadcast? You know what I mean? Obviously, we have Murray's assistant off stage, you know, kind of doing this, and Murray kind of, you know, disagreeing with him, like, you know, let's keep it going. But you can't tell me that Murray is in charge of the network. You know what I mean? The network would probably be like, all right, pull it. There would be people watching it, right? Wouldn't that be... I don't know. It's a little nitpicky thing. It just, that hit me. It's like, why didn't they cut? Why didn't they stop the broadcast? Let me know. I'm genuinely curious. The only thing I can think of is that they just wanted to keep rolling so that they had a confession on tape. Maybe that's the reason? Tricky. Anyways, so that happens, right? And now there's this like, if you're like me, your heart is starting to slowly pick up speed here because you just know that this isn't going to end well. You know it's not going to end well. There's just this incredible back and forth dialogue, and something's telling me that this scene, I think I remember hearing either Joaquin or Todd or Robert say that this was a pretty lengthy scene, this one. So something's telling me that there's some dialogue cut. And I'd love to see that in a deleted scene or a couple deleted scenes on the eventual home media release. But they just keep talking back and forth. Hearts pounding right here. And man, this is the power of Joker. We are so desensitized to violence. We are so desensitized. The whole picture is disturbing. And there's pretty much every scene of violence in this film genuinely got under my skin. So there's a testament right there. But when it is building and building, and they are going back and forth, and Arthur says, "Do you want to hear another joke?" And Murray goes, "I think we've had enough of your jokes." And he just keeps going and going. And I don't know the exact quote, but it's, what do you get when you have a society that abandons a person? You get what you fucking deserve. And he pulls the gun and he just blows Murray's brains right out. Just reliving it as I'm talking about it gives me chills, because I don't know what it is about it that did something extra to me. I don't know if it's that beautiful scene at the beginning that is imagined as well, with Arthur and Murray, and Murray being this very almost fatherly like figure for Arthur, and them embracing. We all can relate to that. I know I can. Wanting that love, wanting that affection from anybody. We want that. Most people want that. No, I got to imagine, I got to believe that everybody wants that. Anyways, maybe it's because of that moment, and then you juxtapose it with him literally putting a bullet in his head. The 180 of that. Maybe it's because it's the fact that it's on live television, and that, imagine if you were actually watching a live show in your home and you saw that. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's just how real it looked, and how Robert De Niro, when he gets shot in his head, on top of, yes, the splatter behind him, the way he falls back in his chair and is almost just paused there. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's the idea that, Murray was a pretty good guy. We never really got to know Murray. Maybe it's this, obviously it's a persona. It's obviously for television, him doing this stuff. But maybe he was an incredible family man. Maybe he was an incredible father, an incredible husband. And now it's ended. Maybe it's because of the follow-up. Maybe it's because of that follow-up where Joaquin is kind of sitting there, and you can tell he's on fire now, right? He's got the jitters. He's pumped up, and he's kind of looking around, and you can almost see, like, does he feel resentment for this? Because it almost looks like he's about to, like, hold back tears. It almost looks like he's about to cry because of what he's done, but he doesn't. What is Arthur thinking? Maybe that's why. And then, of course, he gets up after he basically tells himself, yeah, keep going. And then he puts another bullet in Murray, and he tries to do it again, but there's no more bullets in his gun. Maybe it's because of how eerily quiet it gets. Or maybe it's because of all of it. It is so good. So good. On such an incredibly fucked up level. Anyways, guys, that's the video. I wanted to talk with you about it. Now, let me know down in the comments, what are the scenes, or maybe just a scene, that really stuck out to you, that really did something for you, that just had you leaving the theater going, whew. So having said all of that, I'll see you in the next video for some more 101.